What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to rank the supports of preseason so far and talk about what kind of makes them so good or bad. I've left this video for a while because it's so hard to rank supports, but everybody has kept asking me for it, so we're going to explain all of them, ranking from 5 stars down to 1. Not that much has actually changed for supports like directly, except the new redemption item, which by the way is broken. But anyway, you can find runes and masteries on champion.gg for all of these, which I'm going to link down below in the description. They are basically the same as last season, so it doesn't make sense for me to write them all out in this video. And with the extra time, I can cover literally every mainstream support in this video. Very quickly, redemption is so overpowered, and on any heal or shield champion, it's a massive deal. It can wave clear, it can heal, it can damage, I guess, but the heal is the really strong part. In my opinion, this is making all of these heal and shield supports better than they probably are, but for now, this is how they stack up. So 5 stars are top tier in my opinion. They work into every single comp, with any team, with any AD carry, and against any AD or support. So the first one is Janna, and you guys know I absolutely hate Janna, so putting her number 1 is a big thing. Redemption is overpowered on her, the ultimate like safety support, I guess, and anti-assassin as well. As much as I hate her, like health, cooldown reduction, better heals and shields, plus another heal from redemption is crazy. How do you ever kill the person she is trying to protect now? That is a question, and honestly, you don't. Instead of doing like runes and masteries, I am doing like a best with at the moment, so best AD carry she fits with. Vayne and Jhin are probably the best two right now because you're protecting immobile people with extra heals and shields, and these two are ones that actually need the protection. Karma is the second one, and it's redemption plus ardent sensor actually are so good on her, like the combination of them. We're gonna have to see after the redemption nerfs that I bet are coming, but for now she's 5 stars. In lane, she does offer a good amount of damage, shields, mobility, crowd control, but in team fights though, please use your mantra shield, so R plus E, not RQ for damage. It's so good. You get AoE shields, AoE heal from redemption, and speeding everyone up as well. The AD she's best with, I think, are Twitch and Vayne. You have the speed up and the shields to dive in, but it also helps them in lane a lot more because you provide some more pressure and you can shield some of the damage they're going to take. These next two might be 4 star for higher ranks, but they are 5 stars below diamond. Brand is the first one of probably the best damage supports, and I might rank him a little higher than Zyra just because in solo queue I think he can be more annoying. He's got higher range, he doesn't get bursts as easily at all. Zyra is like a walking target, but Brand is more normally a champion you don't really want to dive on, to be honest, because he's tanky and he has this like point blank stun. He does have a really good lane phase, he bullies people super hard, probably does most damage in the game at the end of it as well, which is crazy for a support. At the moment, I think he's best with Jhin and Ezreal, so you have the long range poke to follow up on his stuns and damage, and I think that's probably how you play it. It's like a war of attrition, really. You can burst, but really you want to just poke over and over. Zyra is the other one like this, a bit more risky, all or nothing support, but the same idea as Brand. Zyra needs to get a bit closer, but she does get a bigger reward for doing it, so it's good and it's also bad at the same time. Zyra's ult is legit overpowered right now though, with any sort of damage items behind it. She can almost 1v2 a lane phase if you don't get caught, and just like completely counter assassins with it. I do actually think she's really good right now, and one of the best to carry a bad team for sure. With the AD carry she's best with, I'm going to go with Caitlyn and Jhin as examples. You just have this Zyra route into a Caitlyn trap, which is overpowered. Zyra plants can also proc Jhin's W as well, which is a nice little synergy. Before we move on to the 4-star champions, Thrash doesn't really have a tier, so I just want to mention him very quickly. He's always really good if you're a good Thrash player. I think if you're a god Thrash, like he's here at the moment, the bottom of 5 stars, but if you're not, then he could be 4 all the way down to 2 stars. His kit just does like everything, damage with crowd control. He can be amazing in any situation, and I think that's why he can be just so versatile. He can fit into anything. At the moment, he is best with, well, kind of anything. He's so versatile, he can do well with any AD carry, though I think in mobiles are probably best for the Thresh Lantern, like a Jinx or a Caitlyn. Now, 4-star is really good, obviously, but it can be countered a little bit easier. Sona is the first one. It's not the most traditional support, but still good after preseason. Probably one that can actually use the Knight's Vow item and do okay with it. He has really high base damage, some long range poke, and a lot of crowd control, which is kind of making him a decent support actually, and he's best with really Ezreal or Caitlyn for the same kind of reason. Caitlyn trap into Son Q or other way around is pretty nuts. Ezreal poke and ultimate with Son crowd control so they can't move. That's kind of what we're trying to abuse, how much CC he has. Blitzcrank is always pretty strong anyway, I think, if you hit your hooks, but he's good as a counter to all of these immobile AD carries and supports. Like heal supports are good and everything, but they don't tend to be amazing in the lane phase, and that's where Blitz can punish them really hard. You're like an early game support right now. I'm going to put him 4 stars because I know you can miss everything and be completely useless, but in theory he should be very good right now as like a counter to these other picks. At the moment he's best with anything with like some burst like a Lucian or crowd control like Chompers. You either want to chain the crowd control when he fists them into the air, or you just want to burst him down when he hooks. The reworked Alistar is so overpowered in the right hand. You have to go aggressive, and that is the thing right now. On stat websites he's actually pretty bad win rate wise at the moment, and I think that's because before you could sit back, you could heal, you could be a pussy. Now you really can't. You've got to go in and you've got to fight. Like that is where swear he's insanely strong. It's a different playstyle, I guess, but he is so good, and I think that's really what people are going to have to adjust to. He's best with someone like Caitlyn, for example. Again, trap after crowd control is nuts, or just anything with that kind of crowd control. Misfortune as well, because he has so much crowd control, he just uses that, he knocks him up into the air, Misfortune ults, and it's like guaranteed damage. Sona is one that's kind of a hybrid between damage and a heal support, actually. It's weird, but Sona does a lot of damage in the lane phase, in my opinion, even now with just supporty items. Redemption is still great on her, so we can use that for now, but she is a team fight support. You can do damage early and stuff, you're good with your ultimate, but it's really the cooldown from your ultimate that makes her super good, like on her rest of her abilities, so she can heal and damage all the time. At the moment, she is best by far with Misfortune. Sona ult, Misfortune ult is just a dead enemy team. Jinx as well helps her through the lane and then kind of keeps her alive in team fights, the best of both worlds. I really do love Nami, so I would have liked to put her a bit higher, but she's still one of the best. Like Thrash, she's a great mix between offense and defense, which is why she'll always be good. She does abuse Redemption at the moment, which is a massive plus, but like heals, bubble to keep alive, ultimate speed ups, they can all be used to kill people as well as save people. I think she's best with Vayne at the moment. You can flip a switch to go aggressive with Vayne, also her E, and her E with Ezreal is ridiculous. You can use it with your Ezreal Q, so it's a lot of poke, the bubble as well for a guaranteed ultimate. It's just a really good lane. I actually think damage is going to fall off a little bit just because healers are so good right now. They out heal poke, and I think that's kind of downgrading Velkoz a little bit. I mean, he's still 4 stars just by the bottom of the tier, but also as a support, it's harder to get items, to get a bit tankier, so assassins kind of just jump on you. Even tanks diving on you sucks as well, but you do have really good damage and good burst, which is why he's still 4 stars. At the moment, I think you're best with anyone slightly aggressive. You can poke 1v2 basically from range and give them a free lane. All they have to do is follow up slightly at the end of it. Okay, just before we move on, I think Lulu depends on her AD a lot, so I'm not really sure where to place her. Maybe tier 3, maybe tier 4. I think a good Lulu can go tier 4 though, so that's why I'm just mentioning her now. You have some damage early and good poke plus shields to trade well, but in team fights, you just buff your AD a ton. So if they're good, you're like 100 times more useful. If they don't do anything, then it's kind of wasted. You also have to learn when to use your spells aggressively and when to use them on people instead, which does take a little bit of time. At the moment, I think you're best with champions like Vayne with her fast attack. She uses your picks damage way more than other champions, and Twitch as well. Twitch is kind of the same thing. You can also shield an ultimate when he jumps into a team fight, so it's kind of that like added burst at the start. Let's move on to tier 3. This is full of like maybe counters or not the best for every single lane matchup. Morgana is the first one. You can be tier 4 in certain matchups or against really hard crowd control teams where a shield means more. She's actually a very good carry support though. Even if people look at her shield mostly, the problem is that like Zyra and Brand carry more in my opinion, and Nami or Janna shield and heal better as a defensive support. Morgana is good, but others do an overall better job unless it's in specific comps or specific stuff to counter. Caitlyn is the most overpowered lane with Morgana though, because a Morg bind into Caitlyn trap is overpowered as balls, and Ashe as well. Immobile, so the shield is better, plus chaining your crowd control. Nautilus is a really good kill lane, but as weird as it is, I don't think tank supports are actually that good right now because of Redemption. I still think he's good. Crowd control is so good for locking someone down like Vayne or an assassin, but you just don't really beat out these other supports. It's not something you want to pick in every single game, but it can be really good if you use his damage and his crowd control properly. At the moment, I think he's best with Jhin because your ultimate into W is just a guaranteed stun. A big beefy frontline to distract, and he provides a lot of damage as well. He's actually really good with auto-based champions as well because his base damage helps him get like kills in the lane phase, but he also protects them. So maybe Soraka should be tier 4 right now because of Redemption being so good, but I'm kind of going to put her now because there are a couple of problems. I think Assassin's bursting her is the first thing, especially with all of the bot lane parties we have. She's just way too easy to kill early into the game. She is still strong, and if their team is pretty tanky, she's actually even better because she easily heals up their damage and is just ridiculous. Like nobody is going to die. At the moment, I think she's best with someone like Ashe, who's low mobility and needs protecting, but can also just go ham while not dying. That is the ideal. That's kind of what you want to aim for. Brom's the last one here. More of a team fight champion than anything, if I'm honest. I know a lot of people view him as a lane monster, and it can be, but the stun is awesome and stuff, but actually his whole kit, in my opinion, is better in team fights. The constant stuns, the disruption, blocking stuff with his ultimate, he's like the best counter support to have a major impact in some matchups. You can do well in lane, you can get kills, but really you pick him for the insane team fights later into the game. Instead of having best with on this time, we're going to have best against, because I think that's how you want to look at Brom. Vayne, he's going to block a silver bolt stacking with his shield, which is ridiculous. It's really hard counter to Vayne, plus the stuns as well. Ezreal, it blocks his ultimate with his shield, and it kind of punishes his mobility side. Like if you can actually lock Ezreal down in place with Brom's stun, then it suddenly doesn't become very good anymore. 2 stars is going to be good in some situations and good at what they do, but in my opinion, there are champions who do things better or at least more reliably. So Bard is hit and miss, but he can do really well, right? His ultimate can set up team fights, stun in lane, can do a lot of work and magical journeys in and out of lane. Now I've seen Bard players hard carry a game, but I've also seen their roams and ultimates lose games more often than not. It's kind of sad. In my opinion, right right now, there are just much better options out there to play. But if you're going to like pick him and which AD carry goes with him, well, then Caitlyn's starting to trap is good. Jhin as well, long range and stun into W. Leona is the other one in tier 2. Leona isn't that bad right now, even though I'm giving her 2 stars. Like, this is stars in comparison to everyone else. All of these are decent, but compared to other supports, she doesn't do as much, in my opinion. Like, there are other offensive supports that have similar crowd control, more damage, and are just more reliable. One of Leona's problems is that she is only useful if you dive in and go aggressive, and in my opinion, the new Alistar is that, but just a little bit better. The AD she's best with, though, are things like Ezreal. It's an old school kill combo, basically. Leona ult into Ez ult is just ridiculous. Jhin is kind of the new school version of this, though. You chain crowd control and ultimate snipe to finish off from Leona's really high base damage. 1-star have more issues than the others. They can work if you use what they do correctly, but they're not amazing. Taric is basically just a teamfight god with his ultimate if he uses it correctly. He doesn't do a ton in the lane phase, actually like needs to get close to do it, and against someone like Janna, that's not possible. Against someone like Zyra, you're probably going to kill yourself doing it. There is one synergy which actually makes him a lot better though, and that's with Twitch, because basically you can shield, you can stun, and you can ultimate from really far away, but directly on top of him. It means you can actually stun whilst Twitch is in stealth to open up. You can also ultimate, so when he comes out of stealth, you can't damage him. Now Zilean, I'm actually surprised he's not better in the preseason, but he doesn't use redemption well, so I think that's kind of like why the other range supports have just bullied him out now. Zyra, Brand do more damage, and Nami and Sona are better at keeping someone safe, and I think it comes down to that. The last one is actually Tome, and I think he might jump up in a few patches, but for now he's not that great. Courage is okay on him though. He can eat and keep people safe against assassins as well. In theory, he deserves to be above 1-star, like if you think about his kit in theory, but at the moment in practice, I don't think that's really the case. I think he's really best with Jinx though, because he's the ultimate pill machine, so something like that. Or Caitlyn, you can actually trap and he can spit the person he's eating onto the trap. It's actually amazing synergy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this ranking. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching until the end, but for now, let's go to the robots.